Hello and welcome to Game Dog Saga. Today, we will be discussing the dog Rutillio. Dog that just defines the words man's best friend. This story comes directly from the breeder Lunatic Kennels. You know they say a dog is man's best friend? Well, I would have to agree with whoever came up with that. Rutillio, aka Root, was born March 29th, 2004. I remember the night so well. I was living in Tucson, Arizona, and my Marie Red bitch was having pups by Aries Kendall's Bazooka, a superb son of Boudreaux Boss. She went into labor in a whelping box outside in the kennel. I loved my Marie dog, so I stuck by her side the whole night helping her birth pups. I awoke the next morning, freezing outside, curled up inside the whelping box, with Marie Red in a litter of 5 pups, 3 females and 2 males, all bunched up against me trying to stay warm. The smallest one, the runt, was a little black male with a bit of white on his chest, and on both back feet his middle 2 toes were white. I took a liking to him from the start, and over the next few weeks he really caught my eye with his strong will to survive against littermates who were more than double his size. I named him Rutillio, after a 4'6" friend of mine who was brave as a lion and whose life ended early due to a car accident. I returned to Texas with my wife and 2 oldest sons, Junior and Alfie, along with Rutillio, and 3 of his littermate sisters, while 1 brother stayed in Tucson. I watched my sons grow along with their buddy Rutillio, as they chased each other around and got into mischief. Rutillio matured into a fine-built bulldog, and not only did he look the part, but he was quickly making a name for himself when playing the part. Rutillio and I traveled to most states here down south, and proved a lot of people wrong, when the other half were busy trying to stay clear and dodge the black chest eater from North Texas. Rutillio and I collected 6 forfeits against some big names in the game, and ruined a lot of top prospects, and even ended the careers of some veterans. He held his own against some greats, but never did he make me question his talent and pure love for wanting to please me. Rutillio took a break in the action and lived a family life with us in the spring of '09. Root was finally hooked at the age of 6. He did as he always did, and pulled through with all odds stacked against him into tough competition. Shortly afterwards, the decision to retire Root was made, and he lived his life here with his buddies Junior and Alfie, where they wrestled and played and laid around watching TV, fighting over blankets and pillows. This is what set Root apart from what most think of a pit bull. He was a fine-tuned machine, an ace in the words of Irish Jerry, and one of the best compared to the likes of Grand Champion Tina and other greats as said by Johnny G. But aside from all that, he was my friend, and never let me down. He cheered me up when I was sad, and always listened to my ideas and problems. He loved my 4 sons as much as I do. Last Monday, Rutillio lost his appetite, and so I took him into the vet, where after blood results came back, there were signs of kidney failure. We got him started on medications and crossed our fingers. On Thanksgiving morning, I took Root to my partner's house so he could look after him because I had to return to work Saturday. He was put on IV fluids to help flush his kidneys properly and was being tube fed to make sure he got the nutrients he needed. He immediately started to feel better, and then yesterday I received a call at work that Rutillio had taken a turn for the worst. His body was beginning to shut down. So after leaving work, I quickly raced to my partner's house, where I walked in to see the old warrior Rutillio laying on the couch when he greeted me with a tail wag and a wet doggy kiss, but that was all the strength he had in him. After chatting with my partner a while, I had decided I would take Root in the next morning and have him put to sleep. I picked the old man up and carried him to my truck, and as we walked through the house I yelled, "Bulldog coming through," one last time for my friend. I laid him in the seat and said goodbye to my partner, and we started down the road. I reached over and rubbed Rutillio and told him, "Here we go on, another road trip." He stretched his neck out and laid his head on my lap and let out an exhausted breath, and I felt his body relax. Root had held on just for me, and he knew he was in good hands, as always, just like the night in the cold desert when he was born. I returned to my partner's, where we buried Rutillio under the tree next to many great champions and warriors of our time. Many will remember him as the North Texas Nightmare and his friends as Root, and they will never forget his ruthless style or unexplainable desire. But I knew him as Rutillio, my best friend. In honor of Root, my youngest son carries his name, and I was fortunate to have bred him once and have his daughter, Margarita, who is a spitting image of him. Rutillio may not greet me when coming home from work, or try to tackle me when we wrestle, but he will always be screaming in the corner and playing with my boys in my mind. I don't believe in saying goodbye, so to my boy Root, I will see you again soon. Rest in peace, Rutillio, aka Root. Pre-2904 to 11/25/12. Thank you all for listening to this episode of Game Dog Saga. Don't forget to just hug your dogs and just tell them how much you appreciate them, because we all know how hard our dogs work for us. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more episodes in the future. I am just a fan and an armchair historian of this wonderful breed. This video should be treated as hearsay and has been fabricated for entertainment purposes only. Stay safe and scratch on.